Now, part three is a little bit more fun, I would say. You're going to get a little bit more burn, a little bit more lactic acid, but you're probably going to go through this one a little bit quicker. So the reps are going to be a little bit higher, so 12, 15, 20 reps in this circuit, okay? The exercises are still going to balance out what we already did, okay? So this is where exercises that are better for high reps are used, okay? So doing a deadlift again probably doesn't make sense here because we don't love deadlifts for high reps. What do people do? They go off to their 9 o'clock meeting and forget about their form. What do people do? They do their one-arm row and then they forget about their grip and they don't have tension. So we like exercises to support the client and science, but they have to be specific. So in this instance, the exercises that I'm going to choose, just again off the cuff, that are going to be high rep and not going to take a lot more mental focus and have a lot of wiggle room for error. Okay, we're going to do a high rep dumbbell glute bridge. Okay, so we're back to a bilateral, and this is a hip extension. Bilateral hip motion. Okay, so the dumbbell goes on your lap, hip extension, 15, 20. You can do 50 reps depending on the weight. Ideally, you're going a little heavier, so you can't get to 50, but you get the point. Second, we're going to do a rope face pull. Okay, so the high rep, wide grip, nice angle, hits the shoulders, upper back. You can always use more pulling than pushing. And if the rope is uncomfortable, you can also do this with bands as a band pull apart, or if you're working out at home. That's the second exercise. So we have a hip extension, so lower body, bilateral. We have another lower body, an upper back pulling exercise. And then our third exercise, we're going to go back to the core. And I'll give you a little bit more nuggets in the bottom here, but the third exercise for core, just keeping things simple. This is where you can check the boxes. So you can do an anti-rotation press. So you're not using the other caveat here too is in the program, you can't program exercises that are using the same equipment. If you go barbell, you can't use two barbells. You're never going to use two barbells. You can't program that way in a circuit. So we're never going to do that. So in this instance, right, we have our dumbbell glute bridge, different equipment, right? We have our rope face pull, so cable or bands, okay? And then the third is whatever you're not using, cable or bands for the anti-rotation press. And a lot of people are like, I don't feel that. You need to. You need to learn how to feel it. You need how to make sure you're using your core when you're not rotating. Really important. So again, breaking this down, you look at the program and be like, that's it? Is that really that simple? Is that all you do? Yes. And what happens is the 3x3 method gives us this foundational / systematic approach to check off the boxes. Did we do bilateral, unilateral? Did we do different versions of core? Bilateral, unilateral? Did we do some oblique? Did we do some right down the middle? Did we do some core lengthening / shortening? Yes, yes, yes. More pulling than pushing? Yes. All of these things combine to make what I would consider a very, very well-rounded workout routine. In addition, it's just systems. This is what makes it easy. I've heard trainers say they spend hours making programs. I disagree. I think when you have a system and you put it in place and you look 3x3, got it. Okay, what are my three? Okay, strength exercises, exercises for hypertrophy, exercises for endurance. They're not the same exercises. You wouldn't program the same. So it's like a recipe. You need your foundational movements, your dry goods, or foundational ingredients, your dry goods, your wet goods, and then how to mix them in the order that you mix them. And it's not the same, right? So I think the order of operations is super important, probably overlooked in most programs. I can break down programs as much as I want, or much as you want. Not that I want. I probably talk too much about programs, but the complexity of the program is not